Hello, my name is Pastor Corey Wagenfield, and I serve at Resurrection Lutheran Church here in Lebanon, Ohio. I'd like to thank the MLK Community Coalition of Lebanon for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you for just a couple of moments about the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution and how it cries out to us now to be redeemed and reimagined. See, the first section of the 14th Amendment, it is sometimes referred to as the Citizenship Clause. It says this: all persons born or naturalized in the United States are subject to the jurisdiction thereof, are citizens of the United States in the state wherein they reside. So, what led to this passage of this amendment in 1868? Racism. Pure and simple racism. You see, in 1790, a law was passed that specified that only free whites of good moral character who had lived in the United States for at least 2 years could become a citizen. And in 1857, our Supreme Court even ruled against a slave named Dred Scott, who sought his freedom because he was in a free state. And when they ruled against him, they said that whether the person of color is free or enslaved, that black men had no rights to which a white man was bound to respect. Not only had our ancestors alienated the native people of this land when we arrived here on the shores, but they also have relegated people of color to a lesser status than that of white people. But after the Civil War, during a period of Reconstruction, the 14th Amendment was passed. And all of a sudden, a breath of fresh air was breathed into our country. Now, anyone who was born in the U.S. or sought immigration could become a citizen. We were enshrining in our Constitution, this governing document of our country, the life-giving phrase from the Declaration of Independence, which says that all men are created equal. And now, because of this 14th Amendment, that would be extended to citizenship as well. But inclusion of all people means that some people will no longer hold all the power that they have enjoyed for so long. And whenever that happens, backlash is bound to arise. Starting in 1875, a series of fear-based restrictions on immigration were enacted, banning criminals, people with contagious diseases, polygamists, anarchists, beggars, people from the continent of Asia, and eventually, because of immigration from southern countries, caps were placed on certain countries on how many people could immigrate at a time. All of that breath of life that was breathed into our citizenship process by the 14th Amendment have been slowly choked out by litigation and legislation. A country that was once built on accepting boatloads of immigrants with just a declaration of intent to be a citizen and residency of a couple of years had now made it insanely difficult for people to become citizens, because we have been told to fear the outsider. And the citizenship process now has become so prolonged and expensive and difficult that many Americans couldn't pass it as it is currently constituted. And as a pastor, I would be remiss if I did not put this in the context of faith. In Exodus 22:21, we are told, "You shall not wrong or oppress a resident alien, for you were aliens in the land of Egypt." So what's more important? Caring for people and giving them a chance to live the American dream, or continuing to let political messages of fear of the others outside our borders prevent us from being the welcoming place that values the gifts and talents of people who can continue to diversify the beauty of this nation? It's time for us to reclaim the breath of life of the 14th Amendment and recognize that some of our restrictive and racist laws prevent us from truly being the country that we were founded upon and that we claim to be.